Hello Ramen Nation, Chris Cobain here, bringing you another Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. This time I bring it to you from Lily Cove, as you can hear, with this soothing background music that I like so much. Besides the point, obviously. This is a really good battle with a sub in my chat named Reshi91. I'm sure most of you know who he is. Good guy, very good battler. It's always intense when we go up against each other. And as you can kind of tell from our teams, they're kind of low tier here. There are some UU Pokemon here. I'm pretty sure Porygon Z is, and Polion, obviously. But there's not even really, like, super UU threats on this team. Like, the most UU Pokemon on both our sides combined, I think, is the Empoleon. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, either way, really cool battle, some unique Pokemon in here. I love doing battles like this. They always turn out really cool, and really cool when I get to showcase some of them like I love to do on YouTube. So let's go ahead and take a look at the two teams. I'm carrying my mascot Ramen, aka Tangrowth, or Tangrowth, aka Ramen, whichever one you want to go with. Porygon Z, Ampharos, Durant, Drapion, and Jellicent. And on Reshi's side, he's got the Virizion, Tyrantrum, and Polion, Typhlosion, Mienshao, and Jolteon. So he's got some pretty big threats on his team. Namely, the one I'm looking at, I think the most outside of the Virizion, who's definitely a threat, is going to be the Jolteon. Now, both of those are going to be huge. Jolteon breaks my special wall. I do have Amp for it, where it can't really touch me, but it does carry Hidden Power Ice. So if I let Ampharos's HP waver at all, then that's going to become a giant problem, since it outspeeds everything except my Porygon, so I got to keep him alive too. And Virizion, a big threat because while it will probably have a little bit hard time touching Tangrowth 1v1 non-boosted, Tangrowth can't touch him. I can only hit with Giga Drain, I can hit with Knockoff, but that's going to activate Justified, and I don't really want to do that, especially considering Virizion likes to carry Swords Dance. So I have to keep my eye on both of those, but otherwise I think I'm pretty good in this battle. So, right off the bat, his leads are one or the other, Jolteon or Mienshao. So I'm going to actually lead off with Tangrowth. Not something I typically lead off with. He could have led off with the Typhlosion. I wasn't scared of that because I have Jellicent in the bag. He does pick the Jolteon. I'm going to go Protexis because almost all Jolteons are specs. So I'm just going to see what he's going to go for. He turns out to go for Volt Switch. I'm completely fine with that. He's going to Volt Switch out, and I'm going to use Knockoff. Now, this is actually a misplay turn 1. He could have seen this coming and switched into Virizion, and then I would have been in a lot of trouble. But thankfully, he does not. He goes into Typhlosion instead, and I'm going to get that Knockoff going. Obviously, predicting some kind of Grass attack. And I'm going to knock off his Specs, which is absolutely terrifying. So, I lowered his HP, and I took off his Specs, so Eruption now doing a lot less than it would be. I'm going to switch into my boy Jellicent. He's going to reveal the Hidden Power. Pretty sure that's Grass. That covers all three of his weaknesses, being Water, Rock, and Ground. So that's a good Hidden Power for Typhlosion to use. But since it's kind of weak, he's no longer Specs and all that fun stuff. He's not going to touch me for anything, so he's forced out. So I knew he'd be switching out. He was kind of forced to there. I know there's no way he's going to touch me, so I'm going to hit him with Will-O-Wisp. Hidden Power Grass, definitely the best move he could possibly use. So I knew he wouldn't stay in. And even if he did, I wouldn't care about activating his Flash Fire, really. His Fire Blast or whatever. Even, you know, at that point, wouldn't be doing that much. I'm too bulky. So Will-O-Wisp safe play, and it works out. Empoleon goes ahead and reveals he has Grass Knot. Pretty sure that makes him Assault Vest, and you will see by my Hex damage boosted to, I think, 130 base power when the burn's active. Doesn't do a whole lot, so I'm pretty sure it's Assault Vest. You know, you don't really carry Grass Knot on an AV set. You'd rather carry, you know, more useful moves like Rocks or something like that. So now he's actually going to switch out again, and he's going to go into the Virizion. Pretty good play considering there's no way I was going to Willow again. My best move I'm using right now is Hex. That's not going to do anything to him. But I actually doubled out because I didn't want to take more Grass Knots. And I go into Drapion. I'm okay with this. I know he outspeeds me, but I'm positive he can't one-hit me. So he's going to actually switch in Tyrantrum. I go for Cross Poison. Now, I kind of predicted him to bring in this or the Empoleon to take it, but I wasn't positive he'd switch. I thought maybe if he was carrying Close Combat, he might want to go for that to see if it gets the kill. Obviously, that would have been pretty risky, and he doesn't end up doing it. And he gets the prediction there. So I'm going to go for Earthquake this time. Doesn't quite kill as he shows a massive amount of bulk, and he's going to go straight for Head Smash. But since he showed a lot of bulk, I know he's not choiced in any way. Not Scarfed, obviously, would outsped me, and not Banded, that would have destroyed me. So he is just leftovers. He definitely is a bulky set with that to deal a lot of damage. But doesn't kill me, so I get the cross poison. I went for that just in case he went back into Virizion, and he's going to go down for the first kill of the game. But very easy counter or revenge kill for Jolteon, just to come in, hit that Volt Switch. Pretty easy. It's what I would do too. No risk. You know I'm not Scarfed. I'm going to go down to that. And that's okay for me because I'm going to get Switch Initiative now, and I'm aware of that. So he brings back in Virizion. I only have one real thing to handle this quickly, and that is going to be Porygon Z. Now this thing is Scarfed right now, obviously. It's carrying Ice Beam and Psyshock. Virizion much more especially bulky, so my best shot here is the Psyshock. But he goes into the Empoleon again. That was the only thing I knew he had that could take one. But I couldn't remember how much HP he had left. I knew he was burnt, so I wasn't sure if after a burn he could take two. Turns out he could, and I don't want to lose any HP on this Porygon, so I gotta make the safe switch out into Pringles. Now here he's Scald. Obviously he thought maybe I'd stay in to try to kill him with another Psyshock. That was the obvious reason for that, but I didn't want to risk Porygon there, so I made the right switch into Pringles, and I'm gonna get that Water Absorb kicking in. He's going to lose the HP on the burn, and then he's just going to finish off let his Empoleon go by going for Grass Knot here, and then he's going to go down as I go for Recover. Knowing that he'd die on the burn damage, there was no reason. I knew he'd Grass Knot, and I knew it'd be around half, so just to make sure my HP's at full for whatever comes out next. And he's dead. Now, here's where I make a pretty hardcore misplay. He brings in Virizion, and I stay in. And he's going to go for Leaf Blade, and that's going to one-hit me all day, every day, for the rest of my existence. Now, here's the reason I stayed in as I go down. One, Tangrowth, but he wasn't scared of that. Two, I have Durant. So I didn't think he'd go for a fighting attack, but I thought maybe that he'd go for something that wasn't Grass Knot and I could burn him. Unfortunately, he doesn't. I die. I can bring in Porygon Z to try to revenge kill, but he lives a Psyshock, and he's going to kill me with Sacred Sword. So I said this Virizion would be a threat from the beginning, and it's showing it is. Losing Jelly, though, big deal. Now Typhlosion's more open. Me and Chow's open to High Jump Kick, all this bad stuff. So I'm going to bring in Durant, who's going to outspeed. I'm going to take him out with Iron Head. At least I got him down, but I'm in a pretty bad position here. Did I not click? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So he brings in Typhlosion. I know outspeed. I carry the Rock Slide with the wide lens, but Hustle sucks, and I'm gonna miss, and he's gonna kill me with Eruption. That's what you risk when you play it with the Hustle game. So it's down to 2-1-3. Not in the best position in the world, but I do have Mega Amp in the back to eat up this Eruption. So I'm gonna go ahead and Mega off of this. Obviously, he knows that I'm gonna Mega that, and he's not Specs anymore since I knocked him off near the beginning of the game. So instead, he goes for his best attack, which is going to be the Focus Blast. Smooth set, probably Eruption. You saw him Power Grass, Focus Blast. Probably Fire Blast or Flamethrower or something of that nature, just in case he loses HP. Pretty common on Typhlosion. But it doesn't do enough, obviously, and I'm going to take him out with the Focus Blast, or with the Power Gem, excuse me. So he's going to bring out me and Xiao here. So this isn't easy for me. I'm going to go ahead and switch back into Tangrowth. And like I said, though, Jolteon a threat. He's now got that hidden Power Ice. And I did lose some HP on Ampharos there, so that could become a huge problem for me. That's what I was scared of at the beginning, especially after, you know, I lose Jelly Set and stuff like that. So he's going to go for Drain Punch. This is going to end up being a Giga Drain versus Drain Punch matchup here. There's not much else he wants to do. I'm aware of that. He doesn't want to switch into Jolteon and risk me hitting it, because that is right now is his win condition. Especially considering that me and Xiao isn't really a threat to me in any way, shape, or form. So he could U-turn out, but that's not really the smartest play. If I did go for knockoff and knocked off his specs or something like that, he'd be in a lot of trouble. So I think it takes that Giga Drain, yep, and he goes down. And it's going to leave me at about 75% HP. So my only chance here, as I'm viewing it right now, I know he's going for Hidden Power Ice. My only chance is to knock off his specs. and try to beat him with Ampharos if I live this. He hits the hidden power. I do live it, 39 HP, barely. I'm going to hit the knockoff for a good chunk of damage, and it turns out he's scarfed. Hidden power is going to hit me again. That's obviously going to take me out. But Scarf Jolteon, which is definitely not the most common set in the world. We're going to bring out Ampharos here. And I know that I can live one hidden power ice pretty okay. It's probably like barely a 2-hit KO from where I'm at. I was kind of figuring. Kind of is. I might have lived another one if it got like a low roll, but it doesn't matter because I did enough HP to take him out with Dragon Pulse, which absolutely matters because I would not be able to one-hit that Jolteon if it was at max HP. So that ends up being the GG 1-0. Scarf Jolteon, though. Looking back, I didn't really think about it at the beginning, but looking back, he did hit me sort of soft with the Volt Switch turn 1. It did like 30ish% of Tangrowth turn 1 there, which is low. Volt Switch typically does more than that. My Tangrowth is not at all invested in special, and it's not even max IVs in special defense either. Little known fact, he's not flawless. But if he was specs, I think he wins that game. Because he's going to hit me with the hidden power. The extra damage is going to kill Tangrowth in one hit. L'Oreal, Ampharos could still live one hidden power ice. But like I said, I'm positive that one Dragon Pulse does not one hit Jolteon for maximum HP. So me living and getting that knockoff off, which in the long run, losing the Scarf didn't mean anything at all. Because he outsped both my Pokemon anyway. But that extra damage I got from the knockoff allowed Ampharos to clean up with the Dragon Pulse to get the win. But obviously Scarf Jolteon serves a purpose. It's more for other Scarfers. Namely like, just off the top of my head, Darmanitan, who wrecks terrain on teams. Obviously Scarf Jolteon would destroy it because, you know, after like one decent Flare Blitz recoil, Jolteon's going to one-hit it with Thunderbolt. And no one's really going to expect to be outsped or have their Scarf Dharma outsped by Jolteon because no one's predicting the Scarf. So, but anyway, I think in this game, I think it cost him a little bit. Pretty sure he wins this if that thing was specs. But either way, it's a really good game. Like I said, really cool Pokemon in this one. I love doing battles like this. Definitely made a little bit of a misplay a couple times, especially letting my Jellicent die. But in the end, I was able to make up for it and get the victory 1-0. So thank you guys for taking the time out of the day to watch the video. Much appreciated. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button at the bottom, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube as well if you have not done so yet. It'll give you alerts to when all my newest videos come out. I try to get content out a couple times a week or so. And if you guys have not checked out my Twitch stream, make sure you do so at twitch.tv/xchrisobane. I'll leave a link in the description below, and that's where you can watch me live and possibly get a battle with me. Alright guys, so that's it for me, and I will see you guys in the next video.